Hello everybody, Bubbles Zest here, and this is Hearts of Iron 4. In today's video, I want to talk about something, because recently I've been working on a run that, to be honest, hasn't really worked out. However, doing that made me realise something, and that is that the right opposition's coup is actually alright. So, let's get started. We're going to do the path of Marxism-Leninism, go up to speed 5, and begin. We now have an important decision to make. We can either go with the centre, the left opposition, and who am I kidding? Today, we're going with the right opposition. Not that we have a choice though, this video is specifically about them. I just like doing that bit, I've done it a few times before. The opposition has begun. So, let's make the need for policy changes loud and clear. We now have 150 political power, so that means it's time to hire the elusive gentleman. And that brings us on to one of the benefits of the coup. It's cheap. All in, doing the coup should only cost us 175 political power. When you compare that to the Civil War, with its decisions like state expansion, military support, I'd wager it's the cheaper of the two. We need. So, let's organise uprisings. Oh yay, more paranoia and less stability. A perfect combination. I'm kidding, of course, it's not that bad. On a more positive note, it's now time for my favourite focus, clandestine cells. Now, I don't like this focus for the effects it gives, no. I just like the name, clandestine. That's not a word you get to say often. Oh dear, we're now having a mass protest event. Luckily, there's a very easy way to deal with them, and that is to do the bottom option. Yes, it does take away 75 political power, but that's okay. Doing this option means there will be no more of these events. And that's worth it in my opinion. Well, what do you know? It's the Spanish Civil War. Alright, let's send Marky and Popov and his mountaineers to help. I don't really care if they win or lose, I just want extra XP. But this does bring us on to another point in the coup's favour, and that's continuity. Unlike Spain, we will not be having a civil war. So that means our construction and production will not be disrupted. We can max out our production efficiency, you know what I mean? The clan is now Destine. So, next up is undermining Stalin's authority. The only thing I really don't like about this focus is the extra weekly paranoia increase. Admittedly, it's not so bad right now, but if we had someone like Yezov instead of Yagoda, we would be getting +4 paranoia a week. Here now comes another downside to the coup. The fact that you really can't do focuses like aligning the Zenovites with it. Alright, to be fair, you can, but by the time you've completed all 3 of these 70-day focuses, the event, the military conspiracy, will happen. And with that purge, that means generals like Tukhachevsky will be gone. And let's be honest, if you're doing the coup, you don't want Tukhachevsky to die. So realistically, you can't do stuff like that with the coup. Despite everything, we're still on time. So, plan for the coup time. You know what, Simeon? I'm not going to purge Rokossovsky for you. So you, in fact, can go away. Time to get Yagoda on the line. He should join us. In the meanwhile, though, we are going to do dissent in the party. Yagoda has answered the call, and we are now ready. So, let's eliminate Stalin. The coup is already underway, but let's confirm that by doing the focus of the same name. And thank goodness, Stalin is gone. And the leader of the Beria Boys is back in town. Hello, Beria. I'm so happy to see you. To be honest, I actually am. If you didn't know, the Coup is not a normal RNG event. The Coup actually uses a seed which is created upon game start. What this means in practical terms is you cannot save scum the Coup, which is incredibly annoying. Because if you get a bad roll, you're screwed. You have to restart. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. Bubbles, you can just infiltrate the NKVD and that will help you. And that's true, it sort of does. But, in effect, what this focus really does is allow a reroll on that seed. So yes, you can start out with a bad roll, do the focus and get a good one. But the reverse is true, you can start out with a good roll, do the focus and get a bad roll. It's kind of annoying. Oh, I'm sorry, Beria. It's too late. It's over. I find it funny though, the first thing Beria does is go after his former bosses. Legendary. Hello, Yezov. Ironically, he's kind of more useful to us solely because he has agency upgrade time. The deed is done. So, who should we replace Beria with? Oh, who am I kidding? It has to be Rykov. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a long time. So, we managed to complete the coup by June 9th, 1937. That's alright. But it's not the quickest way to do this. As I've shown multiple times, doing the Civil War is quicker. Whether you're cheating or doing it legitimately, it doesn't matter. The Civil War is the fastest way to complete this. However, if you don't like the Civil War, don't like that sort of aggressive opening, I understand why the coup can be preferable. Although, now that the coup is completed, a big problem with it has reared its ugly head. Do you see this? We've gotten quite a few nasty national spirits, anti-Soviet military thinking banned. And the big problem is, there's nothing we can do to get rid of them. Normally with Stalin, eventually you can loosen restrictions, but with the right opposition, you can't. Imagine if you got something like Junior Officer's Purge, which is an org debuff. That's a run killer. This bug is one of the only truly bad things about the coup that makes me say you shouldn't do it, because this bug is awful. The worst bit about it is that Paradox knows about it. They've been told about it since November 2021 when NSB came out, and it's still not fixed. Nearly 2 years later. Now, of course, if you're watching this in the future and it's been fixed, congratulations. But right now, as I'm speaking, it still exists and it sucks. Disregarding that though, our situation at this point is actually pretty good. We can move on to focuses like enemies of the state, internal affairs, Comintern, so on and so forth. We've got a good production base, goodish stockpile that's coming along well, and so on. It's actually been a nice Soviet opening, you know? So, why am I now singing the coup's praises, when last year I was saying that you shouldn't do it? Well, it's kind of a complicated question, because I didn't really dislike the coup in the past. My problem with it was really people just ignoring the Civil War. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I saw so many people saying, oh, I failed the coup, people got purged, I lost Yukacheski. And I was just like, why didn't you just do the Civil War then? I know that's very weird, but that was my thinking at the time. I barely had a problem with the coup, it was more people just, again, ignoring the Civil War. But on reflection right now, it's honestly okay. Like, I understand the appeal. And another thing, it's a good alternative playstyle within an alt history tree. You have options, you can do the Civil War, you can align the Zenobites, you can do whatever. Of course it has problems, I brought those up throughout this video, but if I'm honest, they're mild problems at most, and one day they should hopefully go away. And let's be fair, they're not really the coup's fault. And when you take all of that into account, the Coup is okay. It's not the best path, it's not the worst. It's okay. I find enjoyment with it. Sometimes a path just has to be that. It doesn't have to be core the entire world. Get a massive org boost, you know? Sometimes that's all a path should be. Okay, enjoyable, and has its uses. So, until next time everybody, I thank you for watching, I do hope you've enjoyed it, and until we meet again, from me, Bubbles Zest. Goodbye.